March the 9th, 2023, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. No excuses, just free picks. It is one of the best days of the year in sports. Today, tomorrow, next Thursday, next Friday. These are the five of the top 10 days of sports for the entire year, right? This is like, since New Year's Day has been watered down in college football, this kind of is, has passed that, almost, right? It's like it's gone beyond, it's beyond that. And to us, it's bigger and better than the Super Bowl for sure, because there's just,
Oh yeah.
for a sports bettor, for degenerate gamblers, for whatever you are today. I mean, today's your day, right? It's like whether you're a light gambler, heavy gambler, whatever you want to do, square, sharp chaser, hopeless square. Chris, you ignorant slut.
Man, now it feels like I'm really at home.
But anyways, it's like these games, right? And Rod and I were just talking about before the show started. It just seems that they're almost orchestrated, and it's like, we know that this has always been part of March Madness, and there's been like March Madness tournaments where we haven't seen the buzzer beaters, miracle finishes, and all those things, and Cinderellas. I've seen tournaments where that didn't happen. I've seen a lot of these things that, over the years, but it just seems to me that this year, even more than any other year, almost every game of every tournament is coming down to one of these made-for-TV moments. And it's the officiating is hokey at best in a lot of these situations. Hokey at very best. That Minnesota against Nebraska game, I don't even know what game the refs were watching, and they were on the floor. And it's like, I don't know if it affected the outcome, but some of these other games, oh my God, man. Whoa. It's just, it's just like the NFL with these ticky-tack calls in weird spots, right? And it's like a foul here, a foul there, a charge that's called instead of, all these things like that. Who touched it last? Which I'm the worst at who touched it last, right? You know who touched it last? Whatever team I said didn't touch it last is the team that touched it last. That's how you know. I'm 0 for 86,000 lifetime in who touched it last in hoops. At the professional and college level, I've never gotten one right. And they even show the slow motion instant replay. I still can't get it right.
What's your worst percentage? Games where you're trying to say who touched it last, or games involving Rice?
Well, what about games involving Rice and who touched it last?
I mean,
that's like, I mean,
that's the perfect storm. That's the super system.
You know what I do then? I play my favorite swimming game. How long can I hold my breath underwater? Me and Sam go out in the pool, and that's pretty much it. It was so anyways, Chris and I have been staying up late night doing these videos, and I go to bed last night. I mean, it was it was fairly late. I mean, and you guys saw how many videos are up there, so you guys know. But here's what I find when I go to bed last night. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. Can you see that?
Sam's like, nope, my spot. And he's all just sprawled
Yep.
up, comfy as heck. Starfish.
It's my wife sleeping, and look at Sam.
Yep. Sam's just sprawled out in your spot. I used to be Bobo.
Bobo all the time, and then he would growl at me. He would be like, "Rrr," and I'd be like, "Hey, that's my spot. Get out of there."
Unbelievable. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like, what the hell, man?
I want to sleep. Did he move, or did you have to?
Oh, it took a couple shots to get him to move.
Yeah.
For sure. How about Romanelli yesterday sweeping the board on his free picks? He said yesterday, like when I talked to him in the morning, he's like, just put me down for 0 for 4. And then he sweeps the board. He sweeps his free picks, he sweeps his premium picks, and you know, he's off to the races again. But pretty solid, man. It's funny that Bittler calls him the Junior Sharp. So what does that make Bittler the Whopper Junior Sharp? I have no idea, man. It's like Whopper, 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 Whopper.
Your team needs a doctor.
It's like, I don't even know, right? Remember Bittler used to call him the Junior Sharp?
Yeah.
Oof. It's when the student becomes the master. Anyways, go to the NHL.
It's a few today.
All right. Penguins, Rangers, Canadiens, and Penguins, Islanders. Rangers, Canadiens, Capitals against the Devils, and Carolina against Philly. Chris, which one you like?
Yeah, the one I like here is the I'm going to take Montreal plus the goal and a half. I just don't feel like New York is playing well enough to justify laying minus 275 to begin with, or even chase any sort of puck line. Montreal, they've done a good job playing a ton of close games. Their last 4 games have all been decided by 1 goal. And I think at worst they could keep this one a 1-goal game, an ugly sort of 3-2 kind of game. So I like the value that we're getting with Montreal plus the goal and a half.
Rod.
And for me, I'm going to go with the over in the New Jersey and Washington game. The last time these two teams met, it was a 5-1 win for the Devils. So Devils 8-1-1 in their last 10 on the road. They scored 5 goals last time out, and definitely been lighting the lamp. So we only need the Capitals to pop a couple to do their part to get us over the total in this one.
You know, I was gonna take a pick in that game on the puck line, but instead I'll go to the Carolina Philly game, and I'm going to take the Flyers on the puck line in this one. It just seems that Carolina's just been playing a lot better hockey here, 8-2 in their last 10 games, and you know they're minus 385 in this spot. The Bucks never make it this easy. It's just never that easy, right? Even though it's a gigantic price, it just, especially the way the NHL has gone, it just has not been that easy. I'm going to take the Flyers on the puck line. I think they got a chance to win it outright. The Flyers 21-12 on the puck line on the road, while Carolina just 13-18 at home on the puck line. Tampa Bay versus Vegas. Buffalo versus Star. Bruins versus the Oilers. And the Blues and the Sharks. Rod, you're up first.
Well, I'm going to go to the Dallas and Buffalo game. I think goals come early and often in that one. We're going to see the over 6.5. Both teams can light the lamp, and Dallas has definitely been shaky on their back end and giving up goals a lot lately. So don't trust the goaltending there. Take the over 6.5. Dallas, Buffalo.
I know we're only 2 picks into this format, but I'm kind of digging the format here, the new format here.
I kind of like this too.
I kind of like this too. I'm up next, and then we got you took Dallas. I'll go with the this is tough. I'll go with the Sharks here against the Blues. I like them on the puck line, but it's a hefty price to pay for that one. But you know, both these teams have been absolutely horrible over their last 10 games. So I think all the value is here on the Sharks at plus $1.25. I know the betting tools say otherwise. Screw the betting tools. I'm going to beat them here. I'm going to take the Sharks. Ruffalo, you're cleaning us up on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Boston Bruins in regulation. If it ain't broke, don't fix it with this Boston team. They've been just absolutely rolling it at home, 26-2-3 at home this season. I'm back to not being able to trust Edmonton's goaltending. I know Stuart Skinner has been the better of the two. I expect him to potentially have a solid outing here, but the Bruins are just too strong. I think they're the better team, I think, on both ends of the ice. I think they just find a way to get it done here. I could easily see a 3-2 kind of game, but either way, I see Boston taking it. So give me Boston in regulation.
Go to our next set of games. The Avs against the Kings, the Coyotes against the Predators, and the Kraken against Ottawa. I lead off first for this segment. I take Ottawa in this one over the Kraken. It just seems to be a little too obvious here for the Kraken. And Ottawa, not a bad team, 32 and 27-4. Kraken slightly better, but getting plus money here on Ottawa. You would think the Kraken would be a heavier favorite here than what they have them listed. So I'll take Ottawa. Ruffalo, you're number 2. And I mean that in the nicest way.
Yeah, I know you do. I'm going to take a shot with the LA Kings. The Avalanche, they're just inconsistent right now. I know they're 7-2-1, but they have had spots where they have struggled as of late. And the LA Kings, they've won 4 in a row coming into this game, and they need to win games like this if they're going to be considered a serious threat come playoff time. Because even if they get a playoff spot, which it does look like they will, I envision that they're probably going to be one of the lower playoff spots, and that means that you're going to have to start your series on the road. That means you have to win at least one game on the road to win your series. So I'm going to take the LA Kings in this one. I think it's a bit of a statement performance from the Kings. I think they get it done here at plus money.
Rod, sloppy thirds.
Sloppy thirds, last one here, and it's a sloppy game, all right. Nashville and Arizona in this one. So I'm going to take the Nashville Predators in regulation here. I think they're battling for a playoff spot, and this Coyotes team, sure, they played their best hockey at home. So I think it's a 1-goal game. Either way you slice it. So I'm going to take Nashville in regulation to get a win over the Desert Dogs here at Mullet Arena.
Nice. So I got an email yesterday from this guy. This guy's like the biggest turd in the world. It's like in order to get an email from our email list, you have to double opt in, meaning you get an email, you confirm that you want to be on the list, and then, you're on the list. This guy's like, you're spamming me. I'm like, well, you just hit the unsubscribe button if you don't want the email. I'm not doing it. I run him back. I'm like, hey, this is the last email you're going to get from me. Okay? You double opted in. You can cry. You can whine. You can talk to me the way you talk to your wife or kids or whatever the hell you want to do. I ain't going to read it. It's all going to junk. Hit the unsubscribe. Put on the big boy pants. Hit the unsubscribe. It's like, what a jerk face, man. Mr. Vaught, V-O-G-T is the guy's name. What a jerk face.
What?
What the hell are you talking about?
What?
Vaught. We're not too far away from Vaught.
I know we're not.
No.
We're getting there. This year, opening day, a lot of games, I remember when it used to be 1. All right, go to, should we do NBA next? Yeah, let's just do NBA. 6 games. Got the Pistons and the Hornets, the Pacers and the Rockets, and the Magic and the Jazz. Chris, you're back on top. What do you like?
Yeah, well, I'm going to take the Indiana Pacers, laying the points against the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets, they're playing for ping pong balls at this point. Any positive performance really hurts them more than anything else. And you can beat the San Antonio Spurs, who are kind of in that same group. But the Indiana Pacers, while they have had their own struggles, they're still only 2.5 games out of the final play-in spot. A ton more for them to play for here. And frankly, I just trust Indiana's offense more than I trust Houston's to be able to keep themselves in this game. So I'm going to lay the points with Indiana. I think they win this one by double digits.
Chris, if you weren't buying your picks today, whose picks would you be buying?
That's a good question. Probably Romanelli. I mean, he went 5-0, like you said, 5-0 on the rundown.
Ron's got his bank shot breakdown. I think he's also got a Thursday basketball 3-pack. So that's what he's got. Rod, what do you think of these games?
And for me in these games, I like the Orlando Magic here, lay the points. You look at this Magic team, and they're 7-0 ATS following a 10-plus point loss. So I think they bounce back here today. I know they haven't fared so well as a favorite, but I like them here at home against the Utah Jazz. No Jazz hands today. I think the Magic in this one.
Who'd you take, Chris?
The Pacers.
Pacers. So that leaves me with the Hornets and the Pistons. This is a tough one. Got two bad teams going at it. The Pistons really applying themselves, them and the Rockets, when it comes to getting those lottery picks. That percentage, which really isn't that great of a percentage to get the number one overall. But the nice thing that the Rockets and Pistons are doing is that they don't even have to really tank, if they don't want to, because the other teams are helping them in that respect. They're just beating the crap out of them. So I don't think there's any tanking involved. I think they're just that bad. So the Pistons, but the thing is, the Hornets, they're no bargain either. They have been playing some of their best basketball of the season recently, but I don't know, 10-26 on the road. I'm going to take the Pistons in this one. Go to our next set of games. We got three big boys here: the Grizz against the Warriors, the Bucks and the Nets, and the Kings and the Knickerbockers. Rod, you're number one.
Well, for me, I'm going to go with the Knicks here versus the Kings. You look at these Knicks; they've been playing pretty good hoops. They did finally end their losing streak last time out, so they'll be looking to start a new one here. The Knicks, 6-0 ATS in their last 6 versus a team with the winning straight-up record. And you look at the Kings at home, 0-4 ATS their last 4 versus a team that has a winning road record. We know the Knicks on the road love to play their best hoops there. So Knicks 4-0 in the last 4 meetings versus the Kings as well. So I'll take the points with the Knicks in that one.
I'm going to roll with I'm going to take the Bucks here against the Nets. I know the Nets, still in playoff position here when all is said and done. But at the end of the day, the Bucks are still rolling, and they are a really good team. 27-6 at home this season, 20-13 against the number. I think this is one of those games where the Bucks win by 20 plus. Chris?
Yeah, you leave me with the Grizzlies and the Warriors, and
that is what we've left you with. Imagine 2.5 years of this stuff.
Fair enough. Fair.
That's what you guys have been doing to me, but I don't even get teams that It's like,
yeah. Fair enough. For me, this game's the lesser of two evils. Do you back the Golden State Warriors on the road, where they've had their struggles all year long, or do you back the Memphis Grizzlies at home with no Ja Morant, considering that they've struggled in the 2 matchups against Golden State so far this season? I still got to go with Golden State. They've got their complete, cast of characters here coming into this game. And, the Grizzlies, they have been able to win without Ja Morant in the past and have decent performances without Morant in the past. But right now, the Grizzlies just feel like they're struggling. They're coming back off their road trip. I think it's going to take them a game to get sort of their feet back underneath them at home. And I think the Warriors come in and get a win here. So I'll lay the bucket with the Warriors.
All right. Rod, if you weren't buying your picks today, whose picks would you be buying?
Tony Brown, that guy's been on fire. You look, he had another winning day yesterday. He's got the winning week. He's got the winning month. He's got the winning year. He's been on fire. Tony Brown would be the guy I'd be buying if I had to buy. He has been hot the last month. The guys that weren't on the leaderboard and are now moving up the leaderboard for the yearly and the 30-day, those are the guys who are hot right now. Like me, I've been cold. I'm the only capper on the internet that loses games. So I know when I'm cold. People don't have to tell me. Anyways, we can see the sage burning over here.
I think Big Al McMorty for me is always a good buy. It's like if he's hot, there's always a good probability that he's going to stay hot. If he's cold, he's probably going to get hot, right? So it's like, and he's not afraid to put a ton of picks in, which I love because I'm an action junkie, right? I'm borderline have a problem, and I'm to the other side of the borderline. Don't touch my stuff. It's none of your business. My wife was looking at my Bitcoin account the other day. She's like, "Why are you so protective of that?" It's my Bitcoins. It's mine. It's like all those places that pay in the Bitcoins, you know? So I just have a crap ton of them in there. Probably enough to buy like a small condo somewhere, you know? It's like, don't touch my Bitcoin. Because I know she's thinking of like buying like a winter home, a summer home in the mountains or something. Don't touch my Bitcoins. She sees that, it's like, it's not going to be like a Maserati or something good.
I just imagine this Scrooge McDuck in 2023 trying to dive into Bitcoins.
Oh, man. McDuck, you say? All right. Time for some college hoops.
3-0 Toledo.
Nice. VCU Davidson starts in 21 minutes. Michigan Rutgers, Miami Wake, Marquette St. John's, Baylor, Iowa State, South Florida, ECU. I get to go first. I'm going to take, I like all these games. I like all of them. I'm going to go with ECU against South Florida. I think South Florida wins the game. I just think it's closer than that. We've seen ECU play pretty strong recently. We saw them knock off Tulane, and when they played the one back-to-back, they had them dead to rights in the other game. South Florida, it's like every time they're like a good team when they're kind of hanging out there, and you're not really watching them, and then they'll go into Wichita and lose by 20. So I think for me, I'm going to take ECU to cover the spread in that one. Chris Ruffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Iowa State plus the points against Baylor. Wouldn't be surprised if Baylor won that game, but Iowa State won both meetings in the regular season, and they still have the top and most efficient defense in the Big 12. I know Baylor the most efficient offense, but I still think Iowa State's defense can keep them in this one. It helped them, get a pair of comfortable wins over Baylor already this season. So take my shot with Iowa State plus the 4.5 in this one.
So Love is out for this one for Baylor, and that's the line move. But I believe Keontae George missed the last meeting.
I believe so.
And he is their top scorer. So even without Love, who's good, he's very good.
Yeah.
But I would say that Cryer, George, and Flagler are a pretty good trio.
George played in the last meeting.
He did play?
Yeah, 3 of 10, 7 points.
Huh.
Maybe it's the first meeting?
Who didn't play in the last one? Someone didn't.
Yeah, George played in both meetings. Flagler played in both meetings. Cryer played last one. Flothamba played 2.
All right. Just seems like it's one of those public dogs. Rod?
And for me, these ones, I'm going to go with Michigan. They're just the hotter team coming into this game here. They just whipped up on Rutgers not too long ago, and Rutgers has been limped in.
What are the odds of like honest officiating in this one? Like they play it by the book. As long as it's the Michigan book, I like my chances.
As long as it's the Michigan book, yeah, I like that. Michigan 5-0 ATS, their last 5. I think they're just rolling right along, and their defense. Look at they last time out held Rutgers 46 points. Yikes! Battle the defenses, but Michigan's too strong. The better team. Give me Michigan here in that one.
Yeah, George was hurt last game, Chris. He was hurt.
Maybe he was in early and got injured and they came out.
Yeah, I believe that's what happened.
I think that's what happened.
No, I think he got injured against Texas. And then this was like he played. I don't know. Either way, he said he hates you. We've got Florida against Mississippi State. Says it's got it. You know, they write it on the shoes. I hate Ruffalo. It's Florida versus Mississippi State. Ball State versus Ohio. St. Louis versus George Mason. I like this format. We're gonna stick with. We're gonna ride this one till the wheels fall off. What do you guys think? You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Chris doesn't like it because he only gets to go first every time.
No, I know. I sometimes I don't like going first. Sometimes I like letting you guys go first too.
UCF versus SMU. Iowa versus Ohio State. Duke versus Pitt. UConn Providence. The thing is, the card's so stacked today that this really works, right? Yeah. Chris, what do you like here? I mean, there's only 7 games that we put out there, but man, they're all there. I mean, this is murderer's row. This is better than opening day of the NCAA tournament right there. That lineup.
Yeah, for sure. I like Mississippi State here, laying the points against Florida. This Florida team is just falling off a map without Colin Castleton. They got wins over LSU and Georgia to close out the year, but big whoop. Those are still 2 of the worst teams in the SEC. Mississippi State still one of the best defensive units in the country. I just think Florida going to have a hard time breaking them down, and I think Mississippi State gets themselves a nice win and cover by at least 7 or 8 points to move on and take down the Gators here. So give me Mississippi State laying the points.
When you're looking at a unit, what exactly are you looking for?
A unit.
Nice.
What kind of unit? What kind of unit?
I don't know. You're the one that said it, not me. It's like it didn't sound good, I'll tell you that much. Believe me, we can take any word here and twist it.
100%. I know you can.
Have you ever seen this show before?
You sir. There are things that you are good at is being a name caller and twisting words. And twisting words as a name caller.
What about putting words in people's mouths?
See, forgot about that. Yeah.
Second to none.
If I've got nothing to complain about, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Rod, what do you like?
Things we're good at. Bubble crabs, putting words in people's mouths, calling people names.
Turn-ons, bubble crabs. putting words in people's mouths. Cookie dough ice cream.
Rum raisin.
Turn-offs. YouTube trolls. You always have to finish like turn-offs. YouTube trolls, cowards, liars, and mean
bad
people.
hygiene.
Mean people. Who's up, Rod?
I'm up. So in these ones here, I'm going to go.
You gave a pick,
I'm going to go with the Husky.
Who'd you take?
He took
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
That's it. Yeah.
Rod, who'd you take?
And for me in these ones, I'm going to take the Huskies over Providence in this one. The Sharps got the number at 7.5. It's down to 6.5, and that's where I like it. You look at the Huskies rolling into this one. Winners of 5 straight, covering 4 straight, just rolling right along. Better defense on the Huskies as well. And the Friars 1-4 ATS their last 5 versus teams with winning records. So I like Connecticut here to win by 8-9 points. I think the Huskies.
I like Duke against Pitt. I think that Pitt yesterday was a super physical game. And while generally I don't think much of these back-to-backs and that it takes much out of these teams and all that other stuff, I always say these are 18-year-old kids. They could run around in circles all night long. But I think this one, this Duke and Pitt, I thought that game was super physical. I also was surprised how many times Georgia Tech dunked on them. They're dunking.
Dunking.
They're dunking. San Diego State, Colorado State. UC Irvine, the Anteaters, up against Cal State Bakersfield, the Roadrunners. Certain conferences just have a lot of good nicknames. Kansas versus West Virginia. Sam Houston versus Cal Baptist. Jackson State versus PVAMU. PVAMU. UCLA versus Colorado. Played really well yesterday, I thought. Tennessee versus Ole Miss. Kent State versus Northern Illinois. Rod?
I'm going to go with Colorado here, plus the points against UCLA. I think UCLA does win the game, but I think the Buffaloes here, their defense is pretty strong and can keep this inside that number for us and get us an inside the get us a nice cover and a winner there. So I'm going to go with the Buffaloes over UCLA in that one. I think it's closer than people think.
I'm going to take Tennessee against Ole Miss. Ole Miss got so lucky yesterday. I'm going to take Tennessee in this one. I think that of all the teams that are left of the big conferences, including DePaul, Ole Miss is the worst team that's left. They've been coach fired bad this season. I mean, they have been. And I think Tennessee comes out here and makes a statement. Tennessee has been kind of up and down the last couple of weeks, but I think they're up in this one. I think they've been sitting. I think they've had some time to think about what they've done wrong. I just want you to sit there and think about it. I think they have. I'm going to take Tennessee. Ole Miss sucks. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Sam Houston State, laying the points against Cal Baptist. 3 all-time meetings between these two teams. Sam Houston won the first meeting by 5, but since then, 2 double-digit victories by a combined 41 points. And I just think Sam Houston's defense ends up being too much for Cal Baptist to contend with. It's the top 5 scoring defense for Sam Houston State. They allow just 62.4 points per game over the course of conference play. And their last 5 giving up less than 55 points per game. I think Cal Baptist is in trouble here. I'll lay the points with Sam Houston State there.
Cal Baptist in for a world of hurt, according to Chris Ruffalo. Kent State against Northern Illinois. Seattle versus Grand Canyon. Dayton versus St. Joe's. Oregon versus Washington State. Fullerton versus Hawaii. Nevada San Jose State. Maryland Eastern Shore up against Morgan State. Akron Buffalo. Florida Atlantic versus Western Kentucky. Illinois Penn State. Is it me? Or is it Rod?
Yep. Or is it me? I don't know.
I think it's you. No,
Is it
it's
me?
me. It's
Oh,
me.
well.
It's me because Chris just went last. So it's got to be me. Oh, this is a tough slot. So many games, so little games to choose from. I'm going to take Florida Atlantic over Western Kentucky. I think the Owls have been underestimated all season, and I think that they know how important it is, that the chances of them getting an at-large is probably pretty slim, if they can't win this conference tournament. So look for them to come out, make a statement here against Western Kentucky. As they said in Karate Kid, leave no doubt. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Illinois, laying the points against Penn State. I just think Illinois, the better team, that wants to make amends for some sluggish performances against Penn State earlier this season. Penn State won both meetings against Illinois, and I think Illinois finds a way to get it done here. Penn State, they rely on taking a lot of shots from behind the arc, and this is an Illinois team that's still defending fairly well in conference play, allowing teams to shoot just 35% from 3-point range. And I think that's the difference here. I think Illinois' guard play is better here, so I'm going to take Illinois, laying the bucket.
I think that's what they say about my college life. I took a lot of shots from beyond the arc. And inside the arc and at the bar. Did a lot of shots. Rod?
Yeah, I'm definitely cheering for Illinois on that one, as we can tell. But we're worried that Penn State can definitely get hot for behind the arc. For me in this size spot, I'm going to go with Hawaii over Cal State Fullerton. This is going to be a battle. Both defenses are strong, but I think the Rainbow Warriors have the better defense and can hold Fullerton down. And I think if Hawaii gets this win here, I think they got a good chance to run the table and win this tournament. So I'm gonna go with the Rainbow Warriors in that one over Cal State Fullerton.
All right, Hawaii for Rod. We move on. Loving this new format. Wichita State versus Tulsa. Ooh, Tulsa. So when I said that Ole Miss was the worst team left, but like these guys haven't played a game yet, so it's not really like this conference has really been going, right? So I don't know. I think Tulsa is worse. Quinnipiac against Marist. Both these teams could beat Ole Miss and Tulsa. Middle Tennessee versus Charlotte. Texas versus Oklahoma State. Virginia versus North Carolina. You think they wanted North Carolina to win yesterday? It's like, it's one of those games, it's like, they've whittled it down to 21. Let's just start blowing the whistle. It's like, no one's touched the ball yet. Exactly. It's like, what are you guys doing, man?
You just see them go, hey, no one touched the ball yet.
It's seriously, man. I think the Michigan game is going to be like that today. Auburn against Arkansas on paper. What a great game, right? Xavier against DePaul. They split the season series. Chris, am I up or no? Chris, is up?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, see, I'm going to go with Virginia here, laying the 2.5 against North Carolina. Armando Bacot, I think he really hurt his ankle yesterday in that game against Boston College. If he can't go, or even if he's less than 100%, it's a big blow to this North Carolina team that was really probably going to be up against this Virginia defense to begin with. I think Virginia just shuts down North Carolina here. I think they win this one by at least 5 to 7 points. I look for Virginia to run away with this one, and I look for North Carolina to be sitting on pins and needles come Selection Sunday. So give me Virginia laying the points.
Chris, name 3 of the 5 sports in the heptathlon.
I don't remember.
Swimming.
You know what that is? That's that question where it's just like it's just like they ask you the question, it's just like pass.
Oh, it's the pentathlon that we were talking about. Pentathlon,
Okay.
not the heptathlon. The
Okay,
pentathlon.
Swimming.
Equestrian was one of them. I know that.
Okay.
It was like running, horse jumping, running and shooting. Right, we're combined.
Yeah, swimming, horse jumping, shooting. It was like what the?
And it's like swimming, shooting, running, and horse
calisthenics
and bungee.
Yeah, throwing bungee. I'm throwing the trampoline while we're at it.
And making a souffle.
Trampoline now added to the
right? Might as well.
They have trampoline. They already have it.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. Just throw it in there. About the horse on the trampoline.
Roger up. I'm telling you, they could have the Olympics across the street from my house. I would not go.
Come on, you tell me you wouldn't want to go watch the horse on the trampoline?
Maybe if they had the original Dream Team, I would go. That's about it.
That's about it. Yeah. Well, for me this time spot, I'm going to go with Auburn here plus the points against Arkansas. Arkansas on the road has definitely not been good. It is a neutral court game, but still on the road. Last time these two teams met, Auburn got a nice win, and getting more than a possession now with a solid defensive team. I'm going to go with Auburn here plus the points there. You look at the Razorbacks and 1-4 in their last 5 versus teams with above 600 winning percentage. So I'll take the points, Auburn in this one.
Last time Auburn played in any kind of tournament game, they had to call the casino manager over to count out my cash. I love that. The managers to sit there and watch as they count them. That's the best.
100, 200,
it's like
that's the best.
What do you tip the guys at the window, Chris, when you cash a bet? Or when you make a bet?
Yeah. $10-$20.
So I got a new thing that I do. I got a new thing that I do. All right. So if you go to the books in Vegas where you like have to like pay VIP to get a seat, you get the guys a parlay behind the thing.
Nice.
Like a $200, you do like a 5-team parlay, buy some points and stuff, you know. Yeah, this is for the boys. VIP, the rope opens, the velvet rope opens. The quality of the room drops. You can just hear it deflating. The magic marker, Mitch. Yeah. Did it for NFL opening weekend. It's great. Met a lot of you guys out there. Aria book. I like Oklahoma State against Texas, taking the points in this one. I just think that whoever's been the coach of Texas in recent years, you know, Rich Barnes was the coach, and then Shaka, right? They've always failed in these tournament spots. It's a rite of passage as a Texas basketball coach to underachieve in the big games. So why not today? I like Oklahoma State. I'll take the points. I don't know if we'll need them, but I'll take them. Watch out for LaSalle. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's only one game per person. Dunphy's here. Oh, no, not Dunphy. Anyone but Dunphy. It will be Dunphy. Norfolk State versus Coppin State. UCSB versus Cal Poly, who knocked the beaches right out of the beach right out of the beaches. Boise versus UNLV. This one's at UNLV, but Boise is the home team. Oddly enough, UNLV rotation number 777. Can't make this stuff up. It's like Vegas 777 UNLV. Utah Valley's taking on Tarleton State. You know, Jay Briggs has spent a lot of time at Tarleton State. That was one of my favorite comments in the history of the live show. My old girlfriend went to Tarleton State. So he's like, I spent a lot of time at Tarleton State. I said to Jovan, I'm like, Jovan, you spent any time at Tarleton State? He's like, I've been to Tarleton State a few times. Like, we've all been to Tarleton State. It's kind of like the code word.
It's like your secret plan, Operation Tarleton.
Yeah. It's like yeah,
Initiate
I've been
Operation
to Tarleton State a few times. Vandy against LSU. Oh man, that's a crap ass game. I'll be avoiding that like the plague. North Texas against La Tech. Arizona versus Stanford. Maryland versus Minnesota. Minnesota with the big upset yesterday. Who's up? Rod?
Yeah, I'm up. Yuck. This is not a good time slot. In this time slot, you know what? I'm going to go with the Cal Poly plus the points against the Gauchos. You look at Cal Poly, they are 7-0 ATS following a straight-up win. I think that's too many points. The underdog's also 6-0 ATS the last 6 meets between these two teams. I think Cal Poly can keep it single-digit wins. Gauchos win, not by 10. I think Cal Poly in that one.
Okay. Cal Poly, you say?
Yep.
I'm going to take Maryland against Minnesota. I thought Minnesota played really well against Nebraska. They got a lot of calls, but they also hit a lot of shots. Nebraska reeled them in a bunch of times, did not get the calls that they needed. And that's what that came down to. But Maryland, kind of a bounce back year for them. I'm going to take Maryland in this one against Minnesota. I think they blow them right out of the building. Gophers.
Yeah, And I'm gonna do the unthinkable. I'm gonna go against the UNLV super system. I'm gonna take Boise State laying the points. I know, UNLV, this is a home game for them, but Boise State, that didn't, that this being a home game for them didn't stop Boise State from going into UNLV earlier this season and winning by 18 points. I just feel that Boise State, the better team here and the more proven team. UNLV just really kind of fell apart down the stretch, and I think Boise State can take advantage of that, win this one by 7 or 8 points, if not by double digits. So give me Boise State laying the points there.
Rod? Oh, it's me.
Your turn.
Me? Oh, I skipped myself.
No, didn't you take Minnesota?
I took Minnesota.
Yeah.
So who's up? You're up, Rod?
New section.
New
section.
segment? All right.
New segment.
That's right. You bitched about the segment, then we went on. UAB against Rice. That's right. Rod bitched about the segment, gave his pick, then I gave my pick, and Chris gave his pick. All right.
Correct.
It's the new format. It's new, right? It's new for all of us. I like it.
I like it too, yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Yep.
This way we kind of each have our own thing. We're not like duplicating each other, and no one's just like whatever. It's good, but still spontaneous. UAB versus Rice, Southern versus Alabama A&M, Siena versus Viagra, Clemson versus NC State, Kansas State versus TCU, Creighton versus Villanova, Southern Utah versus the Eggs, Utah State versus New Mexico, UC Riverside versus UC Davis, and USC versus Arizona State. Chris, the Eggs live to fight another day this year. I know you're excited about that. I'm going to go with Kansas State against TCU. I hate William Lease enough that I'm just going to go on that alone. Spite alone on this one. I think Kansas State's been a pretty good team. I think TCU clearly a lot better team with Miles in there. And, might win this game, but I think it's going to be one of those that comes right down to the end. I always say you got two teams with the exact same colors. Always take the points. I'm taking Kansas State.
I can't tell you how thrilled on the inside I was that the Eggs won yesterday, but I might tune in to watch that one. But I like Arizona State plus the points against USC. This game, Arizona State, they've been sort of ping pong balling all around, the bubble. After the win over Arizona, they went from being out of the tournament, not even in the next 4 out, to being the last 4 in. Then they go back to the first 4 out. Now they're still the first 4 out.
So you're Canadian, but you call it out instead of oot. Who calls it oot? There's some Canadians that call it oot.
I don't know.
Rod's close.
Close.
Oot. He's oot. What? What the hell are you talking about?
Oot and a boot.
A boot.
Oh. Hey.
Don't you know? No, but I think you're going to see Arizona State fighting for their tournament lives here. I think USC can be a little bit heavy and reliant on their top 2 guys, Boogie Ellis and Drew Peterson, and I think that could be their downfall here. So give me Arizona State plus the points with a shot to win it outright.
Rod, bring it home.
I'm going to go with Clemson here on the money line over NC State here. You look at NC State. They are 0-7 ATS after scoring 90-plus points in the previous game. And Clemson's won both meetings this season. I think they easily win it again. Give me Clemson over NC State in that one.
All right. Jay's jam session also heating up. His premium picks have been pretty solid on his $15 jam session play. So be sure to check those out as well. Chris, any game on the board that you didn't get a chance to go over because of the new format that you would like to talk about? You get one.
Ooh, I got a do-over, huh? Okay.
All right, he said no.
Right.
That's a pass. Rod?
What? Damn it.
All right, Chris, what do you like?
Okay, all right.
Yikes.
All right. Yes, right. I like West Virginia plus the points against Kansas. I think, West Virginia sort of picked up their play over the course of the season, and, a win here, or, at least a solid performance would go a long way towards boosting their tournament resume. I just think this is a bit of a tough matchup for Kansas. So give me West Virginia in the points, a game I think that could come down to the last shot if West Virginia doesn't win outright.
Rod, anything on the board today in any of the sports that you didn't get a chance to talk about? One game?
The one for me, I like the over Edmonton and Boston. I think we see goals, plenty. There's going to be an offensive show in that game. Both offenses going to light the lamp with 4 or 5 goals a game. I think we might see double digits in that one. I think the over Oilers, Boston.
I like Villanova on the money line against Creighton. I think every year we see a few teams here in these tournaments that go on runs, and I think there's 2 teams today that I like out there that are big payers, money lines, that have a shot. Villanova plus 175 on the money line. The other one's Stanford against Arizona, but I only get one, so it's going to be Villanova. Anyways, any parlay for you, Chris?
Yeah, let's go with let's go with West Virginia, Arizona State, and Sam Houston State.
See, if South Carolina was still around, you could have gone South Carolina, the eggs. You would have had chicken, eggs, and then like Arkansas, bacon. You would have eggs, chicken, eggs, bacon.
Chicken.
No, I'd have to go. Well, I could. I mean, if we had Oral Roberts, I could have went Oral Roberts Steak. 'Cause at least Oral Roberts looks like a fried chicken mascot. I've thought about this, in case you couldn't tell.
Chicken. Chicken.
A feather.
I think we should. I think I'm gonna start the segment on stuff on my set. You know, I keep adding stuff here on my set.
It's getting pretty full.
Pointed out. I got Metallica here.
Metallica.
Yeah. Here's James.
Nice.
He's got a wicked temper.
Why does he look so angry?
He's got a really bad temper. He has a place on Maui. He's got bad temper. It's like, is he moving in near us? No. Good. I heard he's got a bad temper. Actually, I've heard he's not a bad guy either, but I heard he's got a real temper. Stay on the right side. Rod, what's your parlay?
We're going to take the Knicks plus the points. We're going to take Hawaii on the money line. And we're going to take the Buffaloes plus the points. It's UCLA.
Toledo first half. VCU to score first. And no, I'm just kidding.
I'm sitting here like, why do I have a feeling that's looking pretty good?
I'm going to take Ohio State on the money line, Stanford on the money line, Villanova on the money line. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Chris, Rod, new format. I like it. Took a little bit longer than it needs to. But, I digress. Have a great time. Have a great day. These are the great days, so enjoy them. It's like these are the best ones. After this, I mean, we can get excited. We can get excited about baseball. But we know 2 weeks in, it's like, oof. We know. It starts raining, the snow outs, the rain outs. Oh, man. This guy only pitched 4 innings. George Kirby, Jorge Kirby.
I don't know if I like the pitch
6
clock.
enchiladas before the game.
Pitch clock is weird.
Paparia.
5.
He's made me some money. He's been pretty good. He's picked it up.
5. Have a great day, everybody.